Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It is I, Midnight Shadow, and today I'm basically here to just talk about anything, honestly, that has been happening within my life. Seeing that basically just finished Job Corps not just about 3 weeks ago, maybe 2.5 weeks ago. And with me being complete from Job Corps, it seems a lot better because now I can actually just focus on myself and focus on the future ahead that I have coming up, honestly. And then just basically hoping that everything else can just set itself in motion, set itself in place, set itself in, the cognitive way that I can go, that I have set in my mind, honestly. And right now, the thing that I need to be doing is just looking and setting up for a job. And I have that capability, and I really do. And it's not hard. It's just simple things that, lead a simple, non-complex situation for myself to be within a job and to hold one down. And I know that videos haven't really been uploaded, and I've been trying to basically upload anything and everything, even if it's just a random occurrence, a random chance, a encounter that, I've had, or I've been trying to do vlogs that, could be more substantial than anything else and just give you input on what's going on in my life and what could be going on in the next, or by tomorrow, or the next day, or next week, or next month, or even next year, or within the next couple of hours, honestly. And I am quite exhausted. It is 1:01 in the morning. And I know that you see this little game here. This is just a zombie game. I think it's called Zombie Killer 2 or something like that. And basically, in which I'm doing one of the missions that did have a cutscene, as you saw. And as you can see here, I'm going through my inventory, and I was told that I need to approach this with silence instead of going loud with guns, which I could have probably proven that wrong. But as you can see, I'm just running around with a shovel, going through the forest, and gonna kill this zombie, which I don't get I got 3 unsuccessful hits on the zombie in particular. But tracking back to what I was talking about. So yeah, basically I finished Job Corps within about a year and a month or so. People think to state that I've been there for 11 months. I don't think that's relatively correct, and I proved them wrong, in particular to the factor that I was there for a good year and a month or so, because it took me quite some time to really get my Penn Foster high school diploma, which I am pretty excited to have, because now that I have this diploma, I can do better things in my life. I can apply for college. I can apply for better positioning in jobs. I can apply for pretty much anything, honestly. And I also do have my license. So now I can officially drive, but I don't have the means to do so right now because my area is everything is in walking distance. So I'm not too particularly worried on any type of circumstance that might happen. Seeing that everything is in walking distance, because this place is kind of small but kind of big at the same time, because there are deeper areas, there are smaller areas, there are short distances, there are long distances. And I'm never really going to explain where I am, where I live, honestly, because it's not relevant to what I'm talking about. But regardless to say, Job Corps was pretty in-depth. It was pretty interesting to be there and collect upon the experiences and training and skills that I acquired, especially thus being in culinary. Culinary was quite the ravishing type of trade. It was quite an easy trade, even though people predicted it to be rather difficult in the manner. However, I do want to state that it wasn't all too difficult, and it was more simple than anything. It's just everything that I had to do in it had to be inside the box and outside the box. Even some things that I didn't take too particular liking to, as many of the recipes were indefinite. Some of them were good, some of them were bad, some of them I couldn't do correctly in a sense, or some of them I didn't have the right ingredients. So I just kind of winged it half the time, but I didn't wing the trade. The trade was good. It was fantastic to be in, and basically the chef is quite the guy. He's quite the good guy, and honestly, I would recommend anybody to go to Job Corps because it's a place where, you know, if you dropped out of high school or if you're young, like this job, well, any and every Job Corps, to my knowledge, takes people from age 16 all the way to 24. And sometimes people can get some leeway if they have a disability and they go to Job Corps at the age of 25 or 28. It's a small leeway chance, I guess, that shouldn't really particularly happen, but, you know, equal opportunity is equal opportunity. So everybody can practically go. But with that said, and me leaving Job Corps, my experience was rather, I mean, I kind of want to be honest, it was more so in depth of me getting my education and getting my trade, because it is a vocational type of schooling and trade work that gave me the skills and the education to do as such whatever in the world as a job. So, you know, culinary would be a job that I would seek, but it's not the only thing that I can seek. I could also seek everything else. And particularly, nothing is really limitless and nothing is really limited, but some places will rather take you than others, or some places require you to have skills that, you know, you didn't acquire at Job Corps. But regardless, a job is a job, and you can't really complain because you're making money. So regardless of that, it's honestly more so you to make money and to not like make much of nothing. But seeing that I completed, it was quite the experience. It was sometimes hellish, sometimes pretty exciting, sometimes depressing and stressful and anxiety inducing. It made me quite anxious half the time, to points where, I'm not gonna lie, I did break down half the time being at this Job Corps for reasons that I'm not gonna explain, that I might explain it in a different video or a different vlog at some point, but at this point I'm not, because it's relatively not important. But however, experiences were great. Some weren't so great. Some were depressing. Some were sad. Some were over the top emotional. I did meet some good people there that probably will not remember me, and I'm perfectly fine with that. It's all peachy. I don't really care if they decide to remember me or not, because at that point it doesn't matter, because it was for me and only for me. Like the place says, it's better to communicate and be around other people so that you can communicate, so that you can have that skill in the open. So sociability is something. But sometimes when sociability comes down to people not remembering who you are or what they do or what you do, it wouldn't really matter. And especially to a person like me, I'd rather honestly move on with my life. Unless per se I have somebody in my life, then me and that person are going to move on in our lives to better ourselves, to bring ourselves to a higher meaning and a higher purpose in life. But, however, as to other people at Job Corps, such as quote unquote friends, that is a temporary situation. Unless they decide that they want to stay in communication with me, then that's up to them, not me. Because usually I don't message people first. I don't take into communicating with people unless I really have the desire to, or as I said, if I have somebody, in which I do have somebody, I stay in communication with them more so than I would anybody else, because they're my main priority, they're my main topic, they're my main everything. Because in this life, regardless of how much money I'm making, where I live, and being with them is more important. Because in this life, nothing else matters than them. Because honestly, I'd rather have them than have nothing at all. So with Job Corps standards and Job Corps workplace relationship, quote unquote workplace relationship, I would say it's a bit faulty. It's a bit trashy. It's a bit of like just everything, like especially this Job Corps. And I'm not going to put the name of this Job Corps in the description or in anything, because I don't want them looking to this video and making negative associations with it. But, however, stating with that, I will say this one was not top tier. The trade and education was pretty good, but the place overall, the campus, the living arrangements, I mean, I really can't complain because, I was living there for free. I was getting money bi-weekly. And even if when I'm there for 8 months or more than 8 months, it was basically increased by like $10, $12, I think. So basically I was just getting 32 something bi-weekly, but bi-weekly, this amount wasn't really much of anything that could help you survive over there unless you get a job, or if you become gold status and you become LTE and, you take up the factor of being in a job, being over there, because you were given so many benefits by being gold. And just, it is worth the while, and it is worth the time and the patience, but some people don't really see it through. Some people are more willing to just sit there and complain and complain and complain about it, complain about the situations and complain about many different things. And I know that may sound contradicting of what I had to say, because as I said, the place is not, how should I say, it's not well organized. For maybe trade and academic, trade is organized sometimes, and academics is, well, I want to say fairly organized and fairly not organized. And the place overall is not too organized. It needs to be a little more put together, but as I said, I know I'm contradicting myself, and I know I'm kind of complaining about it, but I would feel more so in the manner that, hey, it would have been a better place to reside. It would have been a better place to really be at if it was more organized, but I can't complain. I did the year in a couple months, and I got out successful. I have my life now. I am looking into jobs. I have my high school diploma. I have my references. I have my serve-safe certificates. I have, I have my license. I can drive once I get a car, more or less. Well, not to say that I don't already have one, but, getting this one on the street seems a little more handicapable than anything. But anyway, I will give a part 2 to this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you guys enjoyed the gameplay here as I was talking over it. I mean, there's no sound to the game. But anyway, as I was saying, Midnight Shadow out.